Here's another recently extinct animal that you may or may not have known existed, the golden toad. The golden toad is this small species of amphibian that was endemic to one small area in a mountain range in Costa Rica. Now, this is kind of an interesting one because this toad, since its discovery in 1967, was very well studied and well documented. However, despite all of the research that has gone into this toad itself, we don't have an exact reason for why it went extinct. Now, at the time of its formal discovery, the population was already quite low in only a few thousand individuals. And then, every year since its discovery, fewer and fewer individuals were being found, and we're still not entirely sure why. Now, we do have a couple hypotheses, but none that are confirmed to be the entire root cause of its extinction, and likely there wasn't one singular cause anyway. It was probably a combination of multiple of these factors. The main one cited is climate change. Due to the rising overall global temperatures, there's an increase in El Niño events, which really were not great for these frogs. They don't cope well with drastic weather changes. Amphibians in general are very vulnerable to any changes in the environment, and likely the increase in global temperatures, especially around their area, were just too much for these guys. Additionally, habitat loss was likely a factor, albeit a pretty small factor comparatively, because pretty much as soon as they were discovered, there was a protective area established around their habitat, so a lot of the original habitat that they were in is still preserved. However, likely habitat loss did contribute at least a little bit, most likely before its official discovery. And finally, it is thought the chytridiomycosis, or the devastating fungal pathogen that's affecting many other species of amphibians even still today, might have also been a factor. Now, as of right now, this is not confirmed due to the fact that none of the surviving specimens have any evidence of chytridiomycosis, and obviously there's no living population in which we can test, so we don't know for sure or not if this fungus did actually contribute, but it is a possibility. The last sighting of this species was documented in 1989, just a singular male, and it is thought that the entire species went extinct not long after. Now, since it has been documented in the past with this species that they will kind of hibernate and stay underground for very long periods of time if the environmental conditions are not favorable for them to emerge. Sometimes there'll be like a year or two in between sightings of these frogs because they were hibernating. However, since it's been 40 odd years or so since the last sighting, it is incredibly unlikely that they were, as a species, just hibernating for such a long period of time. And again, this is a very interesting case because people did try protecting this frog. There was an immediate established protected area, and people were trying to do pretty much anything they could to save this, and it did not prove to be enough. Now, since the chytrid fungus wasn't discovered until the 90s, there wasn't even really anything people could have done if the chytrid fungus was one of the causes of the extinction. So this is just one case where it goes to show that even despite good intentions, good research, sometimes it's just not enough to save species from extinction, which is a very depressing note to end this video on.